Hello everybody and welcome to the Stellaris Beginner's How-To Guide, and today we're going to be checking out creating a race. Now you may notice this isn't the first in the series, even though it is one of the first things you do, because I would strongly suggest that if you haven't played the game before, or if you're very rusty to the game, or you haven't checked out the guides, that you do all them things to understand the game a little bit easier. Building your own race takes a little bit of doing and a little bit of understanding of how the game mechanics work. So we're going to have a look in detail about that today and try and cover up a few things that you may not know. Any questions whatsoever, make sure you leave them below and we'll answer them if I haven't already covered them. So today we're going to be checking out creating a new empire, race, empire, whatever you want to call it. You can randomize it and it'll create one for you with random differences and stuff like that, names, everything, but we are going to create our own today and go through all the little details. Okay, the first thing I want to note is that you may not have the same as I do, as I have every DLC of the game and you may not. I'm running no mods on this currently, so everything that you see should be available in the core or DLC version of the game. So let's get into it and see what we can create. Okay, so the first thing you get is your appearance. Now it is a little bit backwards on this sometimes, so you've got to bear that in mind and just bear with it. But the first thing you want to do is pick what kind of style you want. Depending on what DLC you have will depend on what you do have here, but we'll keep things a little simple, but we'll go for a machine because I want to show you a couple of things that you do get in later editions of the game, the DLCs. So let's go for a machine appearance. So what do we want? And that looks familiar. Let's have a look what we got. We'll stick with just the standard one for now. Okay, next thing is species name. You can name your own species. So you know, if you call it data, you can plural it. So for us, data is plural, and it'll even create its adjective. You can randomize it, and it'll do it all for you. Rhymes, primes, prime man. Then you can write a little biography. The biography comes up as you start the game, and if you're playing in a multiplayer version, then they can see that biography as well. We are prime. That's all I'm going to put for now, but whatever you want on there, it doesn't make any effect to the game whatsoever. Name list. Okay, so this will choose how your planets and everything are named. It's got quite a few choices. You can't alter the names, or you can alter the prefix. I think, yeah, you can alter prefix, so you got like the ISS ship names here, so you can call them USS, it'll change to ship names. But you can choose through, you know, whatever you want here. But since we're the machine one, we'll just call it that. We'll call it match. So match prevailer, match peacekeeper. So that's pretty cool. So that's your first thing you got, is your name list. Nice and easy, nice and simple, nothing too strenuous so far. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Traits. So you can pick up to 5 traits. That's positive and negative traits. You have both. So if you choose to pick something that is quite a strong negative trait, then you get quite a lot of positive traits you can put against it. So that's a positive. So as you can see now, we need to create some negatives, because obviously, as you can see, these things give you a negative effect on your game, because you need to balance this to 0 if you can. It doesn't matter if it's over 0, but it can't be under 0. There you go. Combined value of your chosen traits. Oh, it's gone off. The combined value of your chosen traits exceed the available trait points. So you need to kind of set it so it's kind of level. So you can choose what that is, and this is why I say it's very important that you play the game first to understand what these traits have an effect on. If you've gone through the trade, through the guide, and if you've gone through the game, then you know that some of these things will have a bigger influence on your gameplay than it would do if you chose something that doesn't necessarily have an effect on what you're doing. Bearing in mind the race you're going for as well. Now this is also another thing where you can set your race, your empire, or whatever you want to call it, to a specific style of gameplay. We've gone through the guide talking about gameplay styles quite a lot, but this is where you really do narrow it down. So if you want to be a certain thing from a certain film you've watched or a book or anything like that, you can do all of that. I've seen things like the Empire of Man done, Imperium of Man done even, with a very xenophobic So you can really customize it, and it will have an effect. What you decide to do will enhance your gameplay, but it'll also negatively affect it, and you need to balance that off quite nicely. So you won't do something like that. So double jointed, if you do double jointed, it'll take off bulky because it's balanced against itself. So you want to have a play around with that, and you set it to how you want to play it. Again, things like that, you're negative, so you're getting more trait points, so you can do things like this. So you've got four trait points available, and you've only got 3 to pick, so you can pick a 2, a single, and a single. And as long as you're 0, you're absolutely fine. Pick what you want to pick, and let it affect your gameplay style to how you want to do it. So we'll go next on that. Next thing you've got is the name of your homeworld. We'll just randomise it all for now, but you can pick what name you want. Your starting solar system is what system it belongs to. Again, if you play through the game, you'll understand where these start coming in. So you can choose like what type of system it is. So obviously the solar system, the Commonwealth and Man starting solar system. If you've played them, you'll know that one. The solar system is obviously Earth's solar system. So you can choose that, or you can just randomise it if you want. You can choose what type of map you have, world you have. So yeah, if you work in a dry climate, or if you want to set up as a dry climate, you can do that. If you want a frozen world, you can do that. It's absolutely your choice. This is great because it allows you to really randomise your gameplay style, or really customise, your gameplay style. So bear that in mind, but we'll go for that for now. City appearance, so you can choose how your city looks. Again, it's just aesthetics, that doesn't have any effect on your gameplay style. Government and ethics. Now this is really where, again, along with your traits, this is something you really need to understand by playing the game. So you've got your ethics points, your authority, and your civics. Ethics points is basically what governs your empire. So if you're pacifists, so you gain higher administrative capacity and +5 stability, but it says cannot use unrestricted wars policy, cannot engage in indiscriminate orbital bombardment. Indiscriminate orbital bombardment, for example, is something where it just basically blasts the planets to death, costing a lot of lives and stuff like that. You can go for an extreme fanatic pacifist, and it means you must use defensive wars only, so you can't initiate wars. So really understand your gameplay style that you want to go for. Really understand the level of what you want to go into, and this is why it's important to play through the game with one of the standard ones that I've already done, so you can understand what you're getting into. You got a xenophile, you got a materialist, authoritarian. You should be a xenophobe. There you go. So you can purge and enslave aliens. When you come to something like that and you have a xenophobe and a xenophile, then straight away you're going to have a massive negative effect against each other, because you're going to both hate each other because you both believe in different things. And that's where your empire really takes its role, and that's how you set it to be. So if you want to be like the Imperium of Man, then you want to be hitting these xenophobes, and you're choosing what ethics you want to do. If you want to be a militaristic, and you can choose up to 3 as well, but you got to really be careful what you're picking here. Now obviously, because we're robots that cannot use robotic workers outlawed, well, that's fine by me. That's robot upkeep, -20%, research speed, +10%, excellent. So your blue ones here is a single point, and your orange ones are double points because they're twice the power, twice the strength of the single one, as you can see. Authority, so you can choose what you want to be, democratic, anything like this, imperial, hive mind, machine intelligence. So you must have the Gestalt consciousness, yeah, so you must have that one there. So we'll actually take that off, and we'll put, can we do that? Oh, that actually takes 3 points. Ooh. We'll hit that, and we'll go for machine intelligence, because we are the machine. And then you can do civics, so you can choose 2 civics. You get further civics as you're playing the game. And again, totally up to you what you want to do. It's totally how you want to play it. There's a lot of things on here that can really set you off quite fast, really. Let's see if we can get one. I mean, they're all pretty decent. So it's down to what you want to do. Research speed already increased. Edict costs. Populate. That's pretty decent. Research alternatives. Monthly unity. So I'm going to hit these two here. There we go. So we're all set. So that's now along with our traits and our ethics. Now, one thing that I will say is this is when I said it was a bit backwards. If you choose certain things in ethics, you affect your traits. So if we go here, so we're actually missing, as it says there. Where does it say? Does it go there? Oh, it's actually giving it us. This trait is required machine. So we are a machine. You don't have to technically be a machine even though you've got the machine profile. You can be a humanoid that just looks like a machine. But you need that trait there, which didn't give it to us. If you notice, it wasn't on the list until we chose the ethic for machine's intelligence. So bear that in mind. Make sure you check it out. As you can see, it's gone off now because I've plugged it in. Okay, next thing, advisor name.
Cry.
System diagnostic completed. We are one.
This channel is now under military control. Obey all instructions transmitted here and
Alert. Possible organic life form.
So that's completely customizable.
Isolate. Destroy.
Our goal is to create a galactic...
The laws of science govern all.
There's some pretty cool ones. We'll go for that one. Again, totally up to you. Oh, skipped one too many. Empire name. So this is where you choose what your actual empire name is. Since we've gone for the prime, as you click randomize, it will stick with the name of prime intellect. I quite like that. It's funny. We'll stick with that. You don't have to stick with anything to do with what you've called yourself in your species name. You can call yourself completely different. It's totally up to you. Totally randomizable as well, as you've seen. But we'll stick with that. Flag, you can create your own flag. I'm just going to leave mine as it is. It remembers what you've done last. As you can see, I believe it does anyway. It used to. I think it still does. But you can completely customize that again. So you have the paradox symbol. You can go for ornate stuff. There's some pretty cool ones on here. Have a play around. Select your colours that you want. So your primary and secondary colours, which affect the background. Like so. So totally up to you what you want to do. I believe the symbols you can't change the colour of. No, you can't. So yeah, have a play around. Choose what you want to do. World on fire. Pretty cool. We'll stick with that. There we go. That one will do. Ship appearances. You can choose how your ships look. Choose any one of them again. That's just aesthetics. It doesn't have anything to do with the gameplay style whatsoever. Just how it looks as you're fighting. That's all it is. And the last thing is you name your first ruler. And you can change the colour of it. As you can see. And you can change the room you're in as well. Again, it's just aesthetics. This is what will come up when you do the when you're talking on the contacts page. This is what another player would see. And you got your her titles as well. Ruler titles, primary link. All completely customizable to what you want to do. And that is it. That is as simple as that. It sounds simple now, but when you're trying to do it yourself, and if you haven't actually been able to concentrate on the game as much as you like, and you've not got into the nitty-gritties, some of the things won't make as much sense. So I urge you, take your time creating a decent empire by playing the game a few times. Have a look at the guides that are available to you on Facebook. Have a look at the guides that are available to you on YouTube or anything like that, and match it to the style of play you want. We've gone through, you know, your gameplay styles all the way throughout this guide, and that's what this game is all about, is playing to your strengths, playing to how you want to play. And it's a very much role-playing strategy game, which is what's so good about it and what encourages people to play it. So match that up with the empire that you set up, and you'll set yourself a really, really good game. And if you're playing it multiplayer, even better, you can play as the empire that you choose. If you don't like people, then boom, out there, you're not trading with people, you're known as a ruthless enemy, etc, etc. It's a great feeling to play like that. So with that in mind, that's your empire set up. You want to save it, and done. Or back. Now, Empire spawning allowed. What this does is, during your normal gameplays, if you don't select the prime intellect that I've selected here, it will randomly spawn it in instead of one of these random ones. So bear that in mind. If you set up a few of these and you set up some nasty ones, they can come into your game and really cause some havoc. So bear that in mind when you're playing. All these ones obviously can come in anyway, but sometimes it's nice to have the ones that you set up yourself coming in, because you kind of know how they're going to play. But not only that, it's something you've done, something that integrates into the game that you've played, which is great. So hopefully this guide's giving you some idea on how to create your own empire. Any questions whatsoever, as I've mentioned below, as I mentioned before, make sure you hit them below, let me know, and I'll get back to you. But one thing I will stress, make sure you play the game before you try and create your own. If you want to go ahead and try and create your own, then just please check out the guides so you can have a really good game. Because if you set it up wrong, it can really ruin a good game, because you'll struggle to build up. It's not impossible, but it just makes it a little bit harder. But that's it for this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and as always, make sure you leave any comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, or if you want to know anything else about the Stellaris game. And if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Until next time, everybody, take care for now. Bye bye.